When you're the most prepared, you're gonna be the most confident. Hey y'all, it's Kameron come to you guys with a new video. So as you can tell by the title, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about how to prepare for an interview for a summer associate position or a clerkship position. So y'all, if I'm too late on this video, I am so sorry. But for those of you that are still in the interview process or haven't started, or even if you're preparing for next year, or whatever the case may be, I hope this video is gonna be super helpful for you. So without further ado, because y'all know I like to chit chat over here on my channel, okay? Let's get into this legal tea. I still don't have my legal team up, y'all. We're gonna get it, okay? Next video, okay? We're gonna have to get it. But maybe I should start selling them again. I don't know. Comment below, should I bring back the legal tea mugs? Should I bring them back? Should I bring them back? I know for a lot of law students, this is a very stressful time. You just got your grades back. You're like, what the heck? You're starting to figure out where you want to work, whether it's a firm, a business, public interest. There's so many different options. You're probably feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you already have a lump sum of interviews ready, so then you have them scheduled for your on-campus interviews, or even outside of that, you've been networking and trying to get a summer clerkship or summer associate position. Let me just start by saying there is no designated time in which you have to have that solidified. When I say that, I mean, I didn't get my offer from the firm that I was previously working at until April. So because I got it through networking. So for those of you that don't know, I was volunteering with one of the attorneys at the firm, and he just invited me to go visit the firm, get some more information about them, and then it turned into a summer associateship. So that's just to say there's so many different ways for you to find a clerkship or summer associateship or internship or externship. There are so many different ways. It's not just with on-campus interviews, and there is no specific time by which you have to have that done. Otherwise, you just won't be able to get one. That's not true. I know people that literally found their summer associate position or their clerkship position, internship, externship, whatever the case may be, in the summer. So it is okay. I know it's going to feel like a lot of pressure, but I promise you, you are not too late. It is not too late. And your grades do not define the work ethic that you're able to put in for this semester, and they do not define you as an attorney, and they definitely don't define you for your summer associate position for the rest of your life. No. Yes, you may have to miss out on some opportunities just because the on-campus interview may cut off at a certain ranking. It's okay. You're going to be okay. I know so many people that turned things around that second semester, people as in me, and then got so many other opportunities their second year going into that second summer, and then now are working at great firms, etc. So it is perfectly fine. Just wanted to kind of give that caveat as we jump into it. Also, I do have notes, so I will be looking down. I'm not ignoring y'all. I see y'all. You see me? I see you. You see me? TikTok reference, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is in no particular order. This is just from my own experience, kind of what I do when it comes to any type of interview, not even just for clerkships as a law student. Honestly, these interview tips really could help anyone across the board. So the first thing is really sit with yourself and figure out what would be your dream clerkship. And I know this seems like, what are you talking about? But I think a lot of times we get the outside noise of family, friends, significant others, or classmates, colleagues, professors, school admissions people, everyone that is constantly putting their input in on what the heck we got going on. So I just want to say it's okay. Breathe. Take time to figure out what you want. Where do you want to apply? Not because law school says, oh, you need to work at this firm. Oh, you need to work at Big Law. Oh, you need to do this. No. Where do you want to work? Start there and go for it. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, now you want to do research, and this is going to be a very important aspect of any interview. Not only are you researching the company, firm, business, or wherever you're working, but you also want to research the person individually. So whoever you are doing the interview with, you want to research them. So it's twofold. It's not just researching where is this firm, what do they do, what practice areas, but really diving into a narrow research as well. You want to dive very deep into not only the firm, but also the individuals in which you will be interviewing with. I think this is probably the number one most important thing, honestly, because there's no worse feeling than being in an interview and they make a reference to something that was clearly on their website, or you are not able to answer a question to the best of your ability because you haven't done any research, or maybe you talk about a practice area that they have never actually done that's clear on their website that they do not do, and things of that nature. So you want to make sure you are adequately prepared for your interview. When you're the most prepared, you're going to be the most confident. That's really a good tip for anything. That was something like our trial team coach would tell us, like when you're the most prepared in the room, in the courtroom, it's going to show, and you're going to excel and you're going to do better than your counterparts just because you're prepared. You're going to be confident. Okay, so I want to be a little bit more specific when I talk about researching. So some key things I research for is, of course, the firm's full name. You want to know that. You also want to know any big litigation case, or if you're talking transaction, any big case or blog post or article that they recently have posted, maybe like the top 3, so you can have that be a talking point or a question that you can ask, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video. But you want to make sure that you're up to date on what that firm is currently doing and any like big cases they've ever won, because I'm sure they're going to want to talk about it, and they also probably will bring it up too, because y'all, if you're in law school right now, you know attorneys love to talk about the case, their favorite case that they won. Okay, I love to see it. I mean, yes, we love to see it. But yeah, so you definitely want to make sure you're informed on things of that nature. Also, you might want to look up any organizations the firm helps to volunteer with. That's just like an interesting fact that might be a good talking point for you. Also, of course, the practice areas. That's just kind of like the basics. You want to see what practice areas that they have listed on their website, but even more specifically, what are their key practice areas? Because although there may be a variety of different practice areas listed, it may not be their major areas in which they practice. I hope that makes sense. So what I mean by that is, if they've done 1 or 2 cases within an area, they can still technically put that on their website, because maybe they'd be willing to do it every once in a while, but their key area of practice may be X. And you wouldn't know that without looking on the website, reading through some of the articles and blogs and information on cases that they have won or cases they have been involved in, to get a feel for what exact area is their like main key practice. Also talking to people that have had interviews there before, so upperclassmen, talking to current attorneys there if you know anyone, and just getting a feel for the firm environment prior to even sitting in the interview, I think is a great idea. I just lost my train of thought. Dang. Oh, I meant to say this when I said the name. Make sure you can pronunciate. I can't even say, come on now. Come on, see, listen. Make sure you know how to say the firm's name and the interviewer's name correctly. And also make sure you know if it's a boy or a girl. Major key, y'all. Major key. Major key. Don't say I ain't never looked out for y'all. But seriously, you just want to trust me. You don't just it didn't happen to me, but I don't want it to happen to you. And I know some people that it has happened to, and then they didn't get the job because they didn't know the name. It's a mess. Keep in mind that the attorneys that you're interviewing with were once in your seat. They know the game. They know how it feels. They understand. And hopefully if they have good character and they're nice people, that they're going to understand that it's a stressful time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stressful. Even if it's virtual, it's a stressful time to be interviewing. You feel like this is the biggest decision of my life. Like, I'm having to choose my career path, and it's not that deep, but it is good to choose somewhere where you could see yourself potentially being. Just throwing that out there. Something else you can do aside from just looking at their website is to look at their social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And again, that's another way you can kind of get a feel for the environment, the people, the type of work they do, if they do any volunteering, what organizations they're a part of. Sorry if the light just changed. My light is going out. No, don't die on me. Okay, anyway, let me see if I can get through this. Remember, you are interviewing them. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street, because not only did your expertise, your skills, your grades, etc. get you the interview, so you got over the biggest hump, but now they want to see, what is your personality? What is your character? Would you fit in their firm environment? Think about it. Where you work, you're there more than you are at home. You know what I'm saying? So they want to get a feel for you as a person. But in that same token, you need to get a feel for them as a person, because you might have this dream firm, dream business you want to work for, and then whoever they send as their representative is not where you want to work. Like, no ma'am. Like, think about it. When firms send recruiters or people to do the interviews, they want people that they think are the best people to represent their firm. They're the best person that's going to represent the personality of the firm, the intelligence of the firm, just the well-roundedness of the firm. So if you send somebody to this interview that's interviewing me, and I'm like, they're rude, or oh, that's awkward, or whatever, to me, I'm like, that's your firm. No, thank you. So don't feel so intimidated that you forget that you're interviewing them as well. Period. And I think having that in the back of your head helps you have a little bit more confidence, because again, you got to the table. You got the interview. That's the hardest part. Now go show them why you deserve to work for them, and see if you even want to work there with them. with a representative. I'm telling you, there's been some horror stories I've heard. I had one interview that was awkward. It was just like, you know, when the vibe is just, it was just awkward. So just throwing that out there, sprinkling that tea. Okay, I changed out my light battery, so hopefully the lighting's better. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all want to get the tea, okay? I feel it. So I think this is a very important thing. You want to make sure you have some type of questions ready. Something. Hold on, wait. Before I get to that, I'm going to briefly touch on attire. I wasn't even going to do it, but like, some people really don't know. Lean on the side of conservative business professional. What I mean by that is we're talking the basic colors. We're talking the white button up. It's just the clear bare bone basics, even virtually. Put pants on, real pants. What if you happen to have to get up? What if the laptop, the camera flip? I don't know, but I don't know, and that would be awkward, okay? Imagine, let's not even go there, but please dress professionally from head to toe. I'm not saying you gotta wear, okay, wait. I'm not saying you gotta wear heels while come on, virtually. If it's a virtual interview, it's okay. But you wanna make sure you're presentable. I also believe when you dress up, especially in professional attire, it gives you an extra boost of confidence as well. So, okay, so now we got attire out of the way, because please do not go to that interview, even if it's virtual, with a bonnet. Okay, clearly y'all not gonna do that. But okay, let's move on because I think we're past that. I suggest that you have 2 to 3 questions prepared. They are going to ask you 2 things. This is a guarantee they're going to ask you. First, they're going to ask you in the beginning, please tell me about yourself. Have your elevator speech ready. I say the same thing 9.9 times out of 10 every single time. It's, well, I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. Yes, water crisis. I went to undergrad at Kennesaw State University. I was a political science major. I just thought that's what you had to do. I always loved theater, and I talk about how my love for theater turned into my love for law, kind of how I did my personal statement, and like, I say the same speech every time. You should be so comfortable with that question. It's the same speech, but it also is a great way to show your personality. So that's why I throw in the like, yeah, water crisis and where I'm from. Then I came to Cumberland. I love the environment. I love Birmingham. I love that it gives me like the city vibe, but I really love living in the suburbs. A whole little package speech where it shows your personality, it shows your intellect, it shows your character, and then it's fun, inviting, and it really sets the tone for the interview, if you ask me. So that's the question I always ask. But the second question it's a guarantee at the end. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for us? Every time, you know it's coming. Every time, you know they're gonna ask that question. And what do y'all do? I've been there before. No, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for this interview, and I'd be glad to hear. Or you ask, well, when I'm gonna hear from y'all? How long is it gonna be? Now, okay, I'll give y'all this. It's a little bit different for the on-campus interview process because you do kind of want to know when they may give you answers, just because you may be balancing a few different offers, which shout out to you. So that is very highly likely. So that's not a horrible question. I just cringe, but it's not a bad question in this scenario. But here are some options. So you can ask, what does a day-to-day look like for a summer associate? You can rephrase that how you see fit. But I think that question, not only is it going to let you get a little glimpse of what your life will look like as a summer associate there, but it's going to put them a little bit on the spot sometimes, because then sometimes they're like, what do they do? And then it starts a whole new conversation of, it's a lot of research, or you get the opportunity to actually participate in depositions. Like, you want to see, are you able to get actual practical experience over the summer at their firm, or is it just kind of thrown together? Is it like a structured associate program where there's like these structured events and things like that, or what's the vibe? So I think that's a great question to ask if you don't have any additional questions you want to ask like that came up during the interview. Also, another question is, do your new associates work in specific areas of law when they start at your firm, or do they get to bounce around to various practice areas? I love this question. I think it's very important. I didn't even think of this question when I was in law school, but after I did, because there are so many firms that have various different ways how they kind of transition law students once they graduate and pass the bar into becoming an associate. They have a variety of different pathways they do. Some firms automatically put you in a specific area of law, other firms let you bounce around and kind of dip and dab into several until you kind of find your niche or your area where you're doing really well, or an area that you like? I think that's a great question, just so you can kind of have an idea. You know what, this other firm, they allow their associates to, you know, jump around, so I can get a feel for a variety of different areas, versus the firm that maybe just, hey, nope, you come in, this is the practice area that we need you in, and that's what you do. So, you know, depends on the person, depends on what you want. You may like one or the other. So I think that's a great question to ask. I know it's kind of like forward, because it's like, girl, you ain't even got the clerkship, but I think it's a good question to ask, and I think it also shows how serious you are to want to work for them. And if I was a firm, I would really like that. Another question you could possibly ask is, what class in law school was the most beneficial to you in your practice? Again, this is probably one of those, the attorney will be like, honestly, I don't know, or they're just gonna throw out an answer. But I also like this question because it shows that you're valuing your academics and your classes, that you really want to be able to transition some of those skills into the practice of law. And then you're asking them, how did they do that? Another good question to ask, if it doesn't come up later, is what was the journey like for them transitioning from law school to now practicing as an attorney? Another great segue into a great topic, get more personality, get to know them a little bit more. They can talk about them. You can listen and show that you are attentive and things of that nature. So I just think those are just a few questions. Of course, there's so many other questions you can ask, but those are just a few you can put in your back pocket, just in case you're like, you know, I have nothing to ask. Let me think what Kameron said, okay? The last thing I want to touch on is how to juggle multiple offers. And if you're waiting for a potential offer, if you just had another interview, and just be honest. Be honest and open and communicate. Tell that firm, whichever firm, let's say you have a firm that told you you have to tell them a yes or no by tomorrow, but then you have an interview tomorrow. How do you handle that? Be honest and communicate. 9 times out of 10, the firm's gonna be completely understanding and say, you know what, it's absolutely no problem. Can you let us know by Monday? Or can you let us know by Tuesday? Or can you let us know by XYZ date? And then you can say, thank you so much for being so willing and being flexible with me. I hope to hear back from the other firms X date, or I'm waiting for one more interview that's going to be on this date. Would I be able to make the decision with your firm at this time? I absolutely love the interview. I would love to work for you. I'm just trying to weigh my options at this time to see what would be best for me in this moment. It's okay. Firms get it, that they also are weighing their options, so they do want to know where your mind is and if there needs to be any extensions ahead of time. Don't wait until the day something is due to say, hey, can I get an extension? Try to do it at least 2-3 days ahead. Or if you know from the jump, like, tell them upfront. Be upfront and communicate, because maybe they are waiting for a yes or no from you because they want to give someone else a yes. So you could be hindering someone else's opportunity, especially if it's somewhere you don't want to work. So just be open, honest, communicate. Don't feel awkward. Don't feel like, I don't want to tell that they're going to revoke the offer. If they do, well then, that ain't right. First off, that's crazy. But if they do, well then, that's just somewhere you don't need to be, because that to me is not understanding, and that's not a place you want to be. But again, you got to kind of keep in mind that they're also juggling multiple students that they want to get in and things of that nature. So, but just be open, honest, and communicate. And I promise you'll be fine. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video you enjoyed, and leave me some comments down in the comment section below. Let me know if you are a law student or a prospective law student, and which phase in the legal journey you are, whether you're studying for the LSAT, whether you are currently interviewing, you're a 1L, 2L, 3L, or you're studying for the bar. I just kind of want to get an idea where you guys are in the process. Also, leave me some comments down below of any questions you have about the legal journey, the legal process. I want to keep doing these videos for you guys, spilling the legal tea and providing you value in any way that I can. So I love you guys so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Share this video with your family, friends, and colleagues. Spill this knowledge, spread the tea, get the tea kettles out and pour it in the mug. Okay, that went too far, but y'all see what I'm saying, okay? I'm out. Love y'all. Later.